For today's entry in my Best of 2025 series, we're going to the very best puzzle games, with all the brain melty, riddles, twists, and more variety. And surprisingly, there are a lot of games to really rack your mind over in 2025. My first pick goes to The Warrior. This is a game that we checked out, and what we have here is a very subversive take on the puzzle platformer, as you'll play as the warrior, the king, the worm, and other characters, as you're trying to solve the mysteries of a very meta world. Not the longest game by any stretch of the imagination, but it does a really good job given kind of the limited scope and design of it. So this one goes to anyone who's looking for a very short form puzzle game to really wrap their minds around. The kind of investigation style puzzle games have been very few and far between, but there have been some amazing ones over the years, such as Her Story and Return of the Obra Dinn. And 2025 brought with it another great example with The Roottrees Are Dead, as you are trying to solve the mystery of the mysterious family known as the Roottrees by going through their very long and confusing family tree. With a lot of more deductive reasoning puzzles, along with a great hint system, the game I really want to go back to and play more of. If you have any interest in this particular style, you played Her Story, Obra Dinn, this is a phenomenal example of the genre, and is a great game to spend a whole lot of time obsessing over one family. The latest game from not Zachtronics, but still kind of Zachtronics, was Kaizen: A Factory Story. And we're trading the incredibly complicated task of combining elements and fighting giant aliens with the somewhat complicated task of assembling toys and other electronics in 1980s Japan. Really great story, and delivering a easier to kind of understand challenge compared to their previous games. Is another title in the long list of games I need to go back to and play more of. But if you are a fan of the kind of programming slash factory puzzles of Zachtronics' previous titles, and looking for one that's a little bit easier to get into, then this is a very easy recommendation. For our next entry, is this a puzzle game? Is it a platformer? We already played tons of platformers, so I decided to put it here as kind of more on the puzzle slash platforming side with Ooh. This is a game that's all about you using your caterpillar bombs to repel yourself left, right, up, down, and through a variety of obstacles inside a giant bird. This is a phenomenal example of level and puzzle design. The game is all about teaching you what are your maneuvers and your abilities through the levels themselves. There's very few upgrades in the game, and instead it's about you figuring out, okay, if I can do this in this puzzle, then I could have used that over here. And there's just some brilliant aha moments in this game. Another title that's not going to be on the lengthy side, and again, this is not about pure platforming. Your bomb blasts have set trajectories, so there's no need to worry about whether physics will guide or hinder you. Another amazing example of how you can do puzzle design very differently, and again, it will not take up too much of your time with a very short but incredibly sweet game to play. For my next pick, this came from the IGF judging I did, and it goes to Time Flies, a time management slash fly simulator game. You play as a fly with only seconds of life to spare, and you're going to make the most of it in a variety of levels. You must complete your bucket list of very strange tasks while figuring out the best route, and apparently flies can manipulate time as you can rewind if you can figure out how. It's a very kind of beautifully charming game with the story is kind of both heartwarming and a little tragic considering how many times our trusty little fly is going to die. And yes, another title in our list here that is not going to be too long of a tale for you, but is again a very original take on puzzle design. And if you don't mind buzzing around, it is a very easy recommendation. And now we switch to something very challenging with Strange Jigsaws. This is the sequel to I think it was 20 Little Mazes that came out a few years ago. You have a variety of jigsaws. And then the kind of meta Jigsaw verse begins to unravel upon itself, as you must solve a variety of very strange puzzles. Some will lead to more puzzles, some will create even new puzzles that you never even thought you could puzzle before. It's one of those games where talking any more about can easily spoil some of the twists and turns of it. This one is on the challenging side, and I kind of fell out of it, I think like halfway through some layer of puzzle complexity. But if you like jigsaws only for a very challenging take on them, then you definitely need to play this one. Now we get to kind of the action puzzle pick for the year, and that goes to Orbyss, a game about you rolling an orb around a strange universe. This one is going to be the most kind of reflex-driven puzzle game on the list this year, as there are a variety of puzzles for you to solve. Many puzzles have advanced or expert ways of solving, which I thought was a really nice touch. Not only give the game a bit more replayability, but also show off your puzzling and rolling skills. This one I would say is going to be more on the moderately long side, especially if you get stuck at a few of the puzzles. But again, it is a great showing of level design and puzzle design, and how you can take just a orb with only a few inputs and do a variety of challenges and very complicated challenges with them. So again, another great game for those of you looking for some solid puzzling, rolling, and apparently jumping around. For my final pick of 2025, this is a puzzle game that needs no introduction, as it certainly blew up as one of the largest games of this year, and it goes to Blueprints, the game that managed to basically attract just about everyone with just the sheer brilliance of its concept. You are exploring a mansion that has many different rooms, and each day you will decide where those rooms will go, and then the puzzles get even more puzzling from there. It is just a very fascinating concept to combine a puzzle game with that of a roguelike / roguelite. And like a few of the other games on our list this year, this is by no means an easy game. Yes, you can make it to the final room, maybe, but can you solve the other puzzles that this game has? Not me. After I got my trophy for getting to the final room, I got the hell out of that mansion. I'm not staying any longer in it. But another just absolutely exceptional example of puzzle design. And again, all the games of this year really show just how much more variety, and especially late, there still is in just pure puzzle gameplay. And that it's not just about throwing the player 800 Towers of Annoy challenges, but creating an amazing narrative and fitting puzzles in that make sense within it. And Blueprints is going to be one of those games I think we're going to be hearing a lot about for years to come, much like Balatro of last year. Balatro, of course, not a puzzle game, obviously. If you have somehow not played this game and looking for a very lengthy, very meaty, and very challenging puzzle game for you to enjoy, then this is definitely one worth playing. And it's going to be, I think, quite a while until we see a puzzle game just be able to directly compete pound for pound with Blueprints. And with that, another entry comes to an end. Will we get all these done before the end of 2026? Maybe. What are some of your favorite puzzle games? Be sure to let me know down in the comments. And are there any exciting brain melters you're looking forward to in 2026? But with that, we'll come back for yet another part, as we are kind of getting close to the end of this Best of 2025 series. Thanks for watching, and a special thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you enjoyed the video, do the YouTubing stuff, be sure to visit our Discord and Patreon, and you're interested in more in my thoughts on design, check out my game design books.